Parents. We're talking about sleepovers. They used to be a classic rite of passage for kids, but now they're a hot topic with parents split on whether they're even a good idea. So on one side, some experts say sleepovers are great for kids. They help build social skills, problem-solving abilities, independence, and resilience.
But on the other side of that chart on your screen, the parents who are anti-sleepover, they say safety is their main concern. And they cite the risk of violence like sexual abuse or unsecured guns, and the potential for dangerous activities like vaping, bullying, social media, or drinking alcohol.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Jennifer Hartstein is here with more on this. So the pros and cons are both valid arguments, and a lot of this might be rooted in a parent's own experience with a sleepover when they were younger, and we didn't really debate this so much. So for parents who have pause right now about this, what's some of the advice you give them to help them make that decision?
Well, I think you have to check in with yourself and understand the why, right? I think that's always an important question, like, why am I feeling anxious about this? Why is this something I'm worried about? You want to sit down with your kids and really talk to them about why is it something that they want, and educate yourself. What's really happening, right? We are in this 24-hour news cycle. We are bombarded with all the bad things. But as we noted, there are some really important things for development and growth for kids that they get out of this. So what can you do where you feel comfortable? How can you do that? But it really kind of starts with ourselves and understanding why we're having a problem with it.
I just remember running like full lobbying campaigns. Let me spend the night, you know what I mean? When you don't want to stop hanging out with your friends. What kind of questions should parents be asking the other parents that are potentially supervising their child if they are going to let them go to a sleepover?
Well, and I think about my parents, right? I grew up in the 70s and 80s where we were all kind of feral, but like the fact is that my parents still called and made sure parents were home. So you want to know who's in the house, you know, who's going to be there while the kids are sleeping over. What are the rules? Like, do their rules align with your rules? What are the rules around social media, around screen time? And one that we don't really talk about that much is, do you have a gun in your house, and how is the gun locked up? And I think that's one that a lot of parents are very afraid to ask, but in today's society is a really, really important one, because if you don't feel like your kid is going to be safe in that way, then that's a real reason not to let them go.
That's good that you're saying. Have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's okay to have that conversation. Also, you say feral, because we just literally played in the streets when I was young, so I think a sleepover didn't feel like that big of a deal.
Correct.
Okay. So you're a parent, you've decided, okay, yes, my kid can go to this sleepover. What are the things you should do or say to your kid before the sleepover?
So have a conversation, right? We don't want to force kids totally out of their comfort zone, but we also do want them to be a little uncomfortable, because discomfort breeds growth. So we want to talk to them. What do they want to do? What are they looking for? What are their boundaries? Where are the limits for them, right? Do they want to sleep in a bed with someone? Would they rather sleep on the floor? So having the conversations, and maybe like an emoji or a safe word that they can text you or do, and then they can kind of blame you. Oh, my parents are really nervous about me sleeping over. Parents have big shoulders. They can take that. So if your kid is uncomfortable for any reason, they can call you and they can come home. And I think that's a really important piece of some of this, is that they don't have to stay in the discomfort if it gets really bad. They can come home. Just have an agreement on what that looks like.
There's also this kind of new thing, I guess, called a sleep under. Yes. It's basically like all the sleepover things you just go home to actually go to sleep. Is that right? Does it still have the benefits of like the kind of the independent feeling that sleeping over can have?
It can, and some people also call them a late over, right? So you might stay till midnight or 1 and then get picked up and come home. And sometimes it's a nice way even for parents to get to know other parents, because maybe they're in a different room hanging out and the kids are doing all their sleepover-y things, but everybody goes home at a certain time. So it's a really good way, I think, to ease into this, especially for younger kids, right? Where they might not be ready for a sleepover, but they want to have that fun, get in your PJs and your sleeping bag and watch a movie kind of a thing, but you get to go home and sleep in your own bed.
Sleep under, or mommy and daddy's night out.
Exactly.
All right.
Dr. Hartstein, great to see you. Really good, like such a good talker.
Yeah.
Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, coming up, taking on ticket fees. When we come back, the